Follow at Butwood and you'll be alright.
What's going on, family? Squad in the building. All right, man. So, what's going on in the markets? What's going on in the markets, right? Bitcoin dumped today. How much did we go down? Let's see here really quick. Down about 10% over the past 2 days. We got up to around 25K. Got rejected there. Was above the 200-week moving average. So, strong signs, but ultimately we did get rejected. So what I wanted to talk about really is just kind of touch base on market psychology, right? Where your mind should be at, looking at market structure, seeing, are we making higher highs? Do we break and make lower lows? Where can we kind of expect to look out for, right? What are going to be the pivot points, the specific prices to either hold or ultimately capitulate under to send us to a new range? So we're going to look over that. I'm going to touch on a little ENS strategy I kind of popped in my head, and I've just been checking it out. I think it could be beneficial. With ENSs, you can get really lucky there. So I'm going to throw that in there. And then also just check on some NFTs that NFT floor prices have been going down for a bit. And if the macro kind of continues the way it is, we could see NFT prices dropping further, but that doesn't mean they're not building or, still have great use cases. So we're going to look at a few of those that I think might be interesting. All right, so let me go ahead and share a screen here. Boom. All right, cool. That looks like it's up and good. Hopefully you guys can see that. All right, so we're going to go through just a few Bitcoin charts. We'll start on a higher time frame and kind of work our way down. So we are going to start on the weekly, and right now we're looking at Coinbase. So this is just on Coinbase's exchange. So we have the yellow line here, which is the 200-week MA moving average, and then we have the dark blue line, which I'm actually going to change that to green and make it a little thicker just to easier to see, which is the 100-day moving average. And again, this is on a weekly time frame. So let's go ahead and kind of zoom in. This yellow bar right here was one of our last major dips, and it signals February 14th. So anything that's happened in 2022 to the right of this bar has been what's been going on more recently. So when we're looking at a weekly candle, like we said, this yellow line running horizontally is our 200-week moving average, right? So we know that when the candles are below a moving average, that moving average is holding it down, acting as resistance, right? Hard to go up, it's holding it down. And when the candles are above a moving average line, it's supporting it up, right? It's supporting it to continue on that trend. So it's super important to watch what happens during price action around these horizontal lines or any really support and resistance area. Again, we're on a weekly candle. If we run from the top of this weekly candle down, we're down 16% so far on the week. And the lows on a weekly chart are still kind of bottomed out around 19,000 with a wick basis low going down to 17.5. All right, so how far down is that from where we are right now? If we were to go retest those lows, it's only about 15% drop. When you hear about 15% moving in Bitcoin, it's really not that deep. So something to be aware of. But more importantly, each one of these candles represents a week time frame, right? So if you look when they started turning green right here, July 18th, we pushed up to the yellow line. We got above it. We kind of tested back towards the bottom of it. We stayed above it, and now we just broke below it. So what I'm watching for price action right now is to see if we are going to get a similar test of these lows. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and draw out a little oval shape here. Right, so these lows are what I want to see if we're going to kind of retest again. And we're going to drag this just over to this way. And so that gives us about a 2-month period to see if we're going to come back and test these bottom side lows. Which in my opinion is a buying opportunity, right? So right now, Bitcoin is underneath its 200-week moving average. Historically, anytime Bitcoin is underneath its 200-week average, it has been a great time to buy. And really quick, we'll just kind of pull up this chart and look previously. If you look back down here in March of 2020, went under its 200-week, and then look obviously at this humongous increase that we had right here. right? Just absolutely shot up. And when else down here, December 18, January 19, touched the 200 week, and then what it do? Shot up. And unfortunately for this Coinbase chart, that's as far as it goes back. But let's see if we can pull up another chart with the deeper history. That's about the last really iteration that we can pull from. So just with that being known, right? So when Bitcoin is under its 200-week moving average, it usually has had humongous bounces. This one right here was up 243%. And then obviously the COVID lows, let's see where the COVID lows took us, all the way up 800, almost 900%. So it's a 9x on your money. You put in $100, you get back $900. So not too bad. So obviously historically, buying under the 200-week moving average is a good idea. I like to dollar cost average, which, you know, obviously if you've been here at all previously, dollar cost averaging just means you don't worry about the price. You think more about a time frame, right? You say, okay, over the next 2 months, over the next 2 years, over the next 3 years, I'm going to put in $100 a month, $100 a week, whatever you can afford. I think that is the easiest chance at becoming a success in crypto. All right, so with that being said, and Bitcoin under its 20-week moving averages, let's look at some market structure to see what we can kind of take from that. And so we're going to take off all these drawings. We're going to remove, and we're going to go down to a daily time frame. And then remember, market structure is just either higher highs, meaning that I'm going to draw it out here with this arrow tool. 1 second. So a higher high, meaning that you start, you go high, and then you put in a low, and then you make a higher high, and then you make a higher low, and then you make a higher high, right? So that's positive market structure going to the upside. Same thing can happen on the downside, right? You start, you come and put in a low, and you don't get back up to your previous high. You make a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, right? These are the market structures that we want to just be looking out for, just to kind of figure out which way the market is trending. So if we look on a longer term time basis, right, what is this, let me draw this yellow line here. And if we're just looking from the yellow line forward, so the yellow line forward to this way, what do we notice, right? It looks a lot more like the bottom structure, aka downtrend, than it does the top structure, aka a uptrend. So pretty easy to notice. And let's go ahead and just mark off, see if we can make it easy. Let me grab this, and we'll change this color really quick to something we can see. Hopefully orange, perfect. I like orange. All right, so we had, this was our high, and then we came here and we put in some lows. Didn't go up at all. Lower lows, lower high, lower lows, lower high, lower lows. And then it looks like we were trying to reverse, right? It seems like we were trying to finally reverse right in this area and put in a ultimate low. So we wanted a low here and a new high, and then a higher low and a higher high. But then we ultimately came over here and broke back down. So when we look at this market structure overall, the market is still trending in a downtrend. So we're going to put in a few support areas, right? We are going to put in a few support areas where we think the price could be supported at. Remember, supporting means that the price could get held up at that point. Resistance, the price could have trouble getting above that point. So let's go ahead and put in a few of those. Do-doom-da-doom-doom. I love crypto. Oh, yes, I know. All right, boom. Grab this here. See this little area right here where the price action pretty much flattened off, right? What do I mean by that? You have this area where it was pretty much being held, about 28,000. The price kept bouncing every time it came near there. So that's one area of support. Obviously, we're already below that, so that can't hold as support for us right now. But that's what we're looking for. And so we're going to just zoom in here. And remember, we like to start on higher time frames and work the way down. If you start on a low time frame, it's not going to give you the most accurate picture. Remember, we started on this higher time frame and we identified that the chart looks more like this bottom structure than it does this top structure, compared to when we were back over this way, right? If we were to move this over here, you can see Now this part looks more like this top structure, right? We had a low, came up, made a high, put in a low, made a high, put in a low, put in a high. And then obviously, like I said, on this side it looks more like this bottom structure, which is a downtrend where we had this high, we came and put in a low, tried to put in a high, put in a lower low, and then we just came back, made a little bounce, and we're trying to see if we're going to put in another lower low. So that is basic market structure. It may take a few times to bang it into your head, but once you do, you surely will benefit. Also, anybody that is in the Patreon, I did share the link, so you can jump into the Google and ask questions. Or if you're on YouTube, obviously feel free to ask questions as well. Just drop a comment, you know what I'm saying? Let me know what you're thinking. All right, so now that we identified market structure to the downside, we're looking for areas of support. We're going down to a daily time frame from our weekly, and we can see on the daily time frame the market structure is trying to shift. So, and then I'm just going to follow this here where we go up, down, up, down, up, down. Right, so look at this market structure ultimately, and now when I pull this away, that looks great, right? That shows that since we bottomed on June 19th, we've been putting in higher highs and higher lows, which is great market structure. But what just happened? Obviously, this one right here, this big red candle that we just got on that drop down, right? So what does that give us an indication of, or what can we kind of take from that? So let's go ahead and put in where our previous lows were. So give me 1 second here, grab this, take care of that. And I'm going to change this to this. Oh, perfect. They're dotted. That's what I wanted. Okay, so we're just going to mark off all these really quick. Boom. And we can actually do this. Grab that. All right. So we're going to get rid of this down here because we already know what the market structure looks like. And now we'll mark this off with price. So we got our first price right here, 17,000, 18,600. And we have a little bit of a gap sitting where we're at right now. 20,800. We did come down and touch that, and now we're bouncing a little bit. So you can see in this area right here, this is a gap, right? So if we lose the current price that we're currently at, this 20,800, most likely we're going to swing down and test, 19,300 to 19,000 even. All right, so that's an area to watch. That's an area of concern. Now, if you're not an extreme day trader and you're not getting in and out of positions, what's the big deal, right? Like if we take a percentage mark down, it's a 10% drop. Like, what's the big deal? So be aware, this is more so on a bigger picture outlook. Basically, we 100% need to hold this 20,800 level just to continue to make things look good, right? Because if not, then we have a chance of doing something like this, where we come down and we touch this level down here and we kind of bounce around this level for a while, and we're kind of stuck in a range between 20,800 to 18,800, and we kind of move back and forth, and we're in no man's land. And obviously that's where the market gets really boring. The market's just going sideways. They call it a crab market, where it's just moving sideways, and you don't always want to see that. So something to be aware of. If we do lose this 20,800 mark, this mark right here, look for price to come down and test around, I would say 19,000 to 19,300. Maybe on a wick it comes down to 18.6, but we'll have to see. Am I buying right now? Of course I am buying right now. Like I said, I dollar cost average. I actually recently just set up Coinbase 2 for like a direct deposit type situation where like a portion of my check gets deposited in the Coinbase and they just buy Bitcoin for me. And then at the end of every month, I go in and I just send that Bitcoin over to my ledger. So could be something you want to check out as well. Makes it easier. Makes you not think about it. Comes right out of your check. So something to check out there. All right, so continuing market structure. Market structure is looking, it's holding right now because it's at that 20,800. We would have really liked to see it hold this mark here. Obviously it didn't. That would have been the 22,500, 22,800 range. And obviously it didn't, so we're playing the current market structure. If we lose 20,800, watch to see if we swing low to 18.6 to 19,000. All right. So that's pretty much where we are. I mean, you can't do anything but sit back and wait and watch how it plays out. what are the things that could turn us bullish? Obviously, the market is forward. The market is forward thinking, right? So right now, a lot of people are trying to price in the fact that the Fed is eventually going to turn dovish, meaning that they are going to either slow or stop raising interest rates, and that would cause risk on assets, aka cryptocurrency, to have another push up. I don't think that's coming yet. When you look at some of the other metrics and indicators as far as like the housing market, it still seems like there's a ways to go, as well as inflation is still, you know, over 8%, which is not normal by any means. So that's what I would keep an eye on there. Now, when it comes to altcoins, so let me switch up here and pull up a few alts. Altcoins got absolutely murdered. Like Chainlink had this huge. I got a lot of stuff going on Chainlink. Chainlink had this humongous rally from its lows. It went up about 60%, and then over just the past week, it's down 30%. Right, so they gave up 50% of that huge gain. So right now, I'm waiting on altcoins, because what I want to see is Bitcoin push back up towards that 25K, see people get back bullish, maybe push up to 28K, 30K, and then eventually dump down. You have to remember that there's no real timeline on these. You know, you can't time the market. Time in the market is much better than timing the market. So this is one of the charts I shared in the Discord a while back. Once we got up to around 22,800, I was looking for shorts. That worked on this first move. It worked on the second move. This third move, it did break through. And now the zone we're looking for the pullback, and we've been watching this pullback zone since July 15th, so over a month. And we're just now getting to it. So good to see that our pullback zones are currently holding up. We want to see this zone ultimately hold up, and then we can keep that market structure going up. All right, so just like we showed right at the start of the video, we want to see more of this, and then ultimately continue to push back up. And who knows how long it could take. Could take a few, but that's what we are going to be looking for. So I'll say it one more time for the people in the back. 20,800. We want that mark to hold. That is where our pullback zone is. This green box is listed. The bottom side of the box is 20,005. The top side of the box is 20,009. I say 20,800 is a good measurement. If we lose that zone, remember, if we lose that zone, then that zone will most likely start to act as resistance and holding us down, and it could be a while before we push back up. So we'll take things one thing at a time. If we do lose 20,800, then the first area I want to watch for is 18,600, and then under 18,600, you know, we'll start looking towards that. Actually, no, 18,600. Sorry, I was looking at this box and I kind of confused myself for a second. But let's put that price point back in. 18,005 up to, I said 19.3, I believe. 19.3, yeah. Which will be right around our bottom side box. So again, we started this chart. We started trading off of this chart back in early June when we had that big capitulation. We said that we were going to look for shorts if it tried to test the top side of these candles, which was 22, and it certainly did. Came back down, and if you notice, this is just market structure, right? We came down, put a low, had a high, a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then we finally just came in and broke that market structure, and we just put in a new low in this sense, right? In this market structure. So what we want to see is just that continuation, right? So we'll start now. This will be our low, and we'll go high, low, and continue on. So that's what we are looking for. Again, last time I'll call it out, 20,800. We want that to hold. If that fails, then we want to see 19,300 to 18,600. Now, I know this range is kind of a larger range, but it just plays into our box, right? I didn't just draw this. I didn't just make this chart. If you go back to the Discord, or if you want to join the Discord, hit me up on Instagram at @butwoodya, and I'll send you the link. But we've been talking about this for quite some time, so just so you know. All right, so that's market structure. Those are the numbers I'm looking out for. Obviously, if we can break back above this box right here, so let's say everything just turns great and all of a sudden everything turns around, we want to get above 22,900, or let's just call it 23K. So back above this top box, and I'll throw that mark in there. Okay, so for us to be on the good side, we want to see above 23K and hold for us to look more towards the downside, closing under 22,800. And if we close under 18,600, well then most likely we'll put in some new lows. But again, like I said, long term, I'm still bullish. I'm dollar cost averaging. I'm taking over a given amount of time to buy X amount of crypto on reoccurring payments and just accumulate, right? Think about it. If we all think Bitcoin is going to 80,000 to 100,000 over the next, 2 to 4 years, you can triple your money. It doesn't seem the risk to reward seems very much worth it, and that's not even getting into altcoins. So, alrighty. So I spent a little bit more time than I wanted to talking about that, but I'm glad I got it out of the way because. Oh wow! I just realized y'all didn't see the whole screen there. Well, let me throw this in. All right, so one last look at that with the numbers intact. This is where I'm keeping my eyes out, and I'll even let's put in some alerts. So we'll put in an alert for this top side box, add alert, and then we'll put in alert for this bottom side. And again, I don't care if it wicks down, but I don't want to see a close below, so I'll put in an alert at 20,500. Cool, and then 19.3. All right. So now I got my alert set up. We're good to go there. Next thing I wanted to talk about was ENS, right? Ethereum naming service, ENS. If you don't have an ENS yet, you're not a cool guy. You're not really in crypto. What are you doing? Phony, fake? Get out of here. Fugazi. No, I'm just playing. But a lot of people have been making a lot of money off ENS's names, right? So Nike just bought their ENS name for about $50,000. If you currently look at the ENS market, you'll see names like Dave.eth that are going for $10,000. Just all types of craziness. So when you're looking at ENS and you're like, okay, I can register a name. So if you haven't registered your name, I would register your business name or your personal name, just to always have that. And then if you're looking to try to make some money and you're just like, hey, I remember the .com era, right? I remember during the .com era how people, were making crazy amounts of money just from buying like dog.com, right? Or pets.com. These are big names that companies come along and buy. So the same thing is happening here now with the Ethereum naming service. So one of the ways that you can find some names that could possibly be worth something in the longer run is just searching current companies that are hiring for either cryptocurrency or Web3 positions, right? So what I did, I'm just kind of cross-referencing here. I just went to Indeed.com, and I'll make this a little bit bigger. So you go to Indeed.com and you just search Web3. You can search blockchain, you can search crypto, whatever you like. So let's just put in crypto. And so we're just searching crypto jobs. Well, we're not actually searching for crypto jobs. What we want to do is make a list of these companies that are hiring. So like there's usually the title and then the company directly under it, right? So LA Token, babydogecoin.com, Cerebellum Network, Brave Software, Ace, right? So what we're going to do, WX Digital, we are going to take these names and then put them into ENS to see if they're currently available. And it's something that you can do just whenever you have free time, whenever you have downtime. It doesn't really matter. You just go on there. You're like, let me just scroll through a few names, add them to your list. And then once you build up a list of, let's say, 20, 30, 50, 100, whatever you want to do, you just come back here and you type in the names here to see if these are available. So I've already done a few, but I'm going to do a few while we're actually on this call just to see if they're available, right? Just to show you how easy it is. Now, you can do a little bit more due diligence, right? Now, obviously, Kraken is a big company. Sometimes when you see big companies or companies that have small words, like we saw Ace, I think up here earlier, like Ace, like that's a 3-digit. It would be a 3-digit ENS name. That's most likely already going to be taken. So some you don't even try, some you do. But I'll just show you exactly the process here, right? So Bitfury. So what are they hiring for? VP, Sales America, Crystal Blockchain. We click on this. Sometimes I like just looking at what the company actually is hiring for, and it'll give you a better idea of if they actually would ever need an ENS name, right? Would they even ever want one or register one? So we're going to type in Bitfury, search Bitfury, and it takes just a few seconds here. But okay, so we see if it's grayed out, Bitfury is already taken. If it has a green bar there, then that means Bitfury is available. So this one is already taken. So let's move to the next job. And you just keep going down. So we got Nozomi. So let's see. So up top, Nozomi. Is that Nozomi? Nozomi already registered. No big deal. Just keep moving, right? Off-chain labs, I've already checked. They're already registered. Let's see. For us all. Let's see if For us all is registered. For us all already registered. And honestly, you should get you should get a little excited when you see that something is already registered, because it means that if you do come across one available, then this strategy could work for you, right? Like now we're gonna try Havas Group, Havas Group. And Havas Group already taken, right? So these are good things. This means that, okay, if you do come across one available, then there's a good chance you could sell it to that company. Now, you could either hold it for a long term, like some people hold these for a very long time and try to get the very, highest price they can. Other people, you might just be catching a company slipping, right? You might catch a company that is trying to get into Web3, and then they finally hire somebody that's like, oh yeah, you guys should get your ENS name, and then they go to get it and it's already registered. But if you have it listed for sale for, let's say, 1 Ethereum, like $2,000, a company most likely will pay you $2,000 to get their ENS name, right? So we're gonna try Mercy Corps, and I want to find a few that are actually unregistered, because I found some before the call. I was looking and I found some that were unregistered, so I know they are out there. Let's try to find one. Blockchain native, already done this. And so like you're just gonna be scrolling through here, you got nothing to do, or you're chilling at home. You're scrolling through and you're like trying to find one of these company names, right? Jumio, Jumio Corp, Jumio Corp. All right, so we got a green, so it's available, right? So then you go over here and you're like, okay, what do they really want? What does this company do? What do they possibly want? Look at the job title. Selling into companies across a number of industries, including banking, fintech, payments, crypto, gaming, and more. So this could be an easy one, right? Now, look how it's relatively cheap. The reason why I like this strategy is because it's relatively cheap, right? So we went on Indeed. We found a company that's hiring. What did we search for? We searched the title as crypto. We found a company. We went through all these names. So we just entered them into ENS. We found one that was available right here, Jumio Corp. And we're like, all right, bet, cool, Jumio Corp. And then we would just register it, right? So let's say we went ahead and registered it. So if we want to register it just for 1 year, it would cost us $8, $9. And let's say we want to register it just for 5 years. So for $30 plus gas, actually that gas included. So for $30, you could buy this Jumio Corp, and then you could just list it for sale for 1 Ethereum, right? 1 Ethereum is $1,700. So, I mean, imagine that. And you just keep doing this, and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it. $30, right? If it costs you about $30 to register one of these, register 10, register 100, whatever you can afford to register, right? If you get lucky on one, it'll pay back for all the ones you registered. And I say get lucky, but I mean, you can do more diligence. Like, this is just me coming at a very basic level, not even diving that deep into this. You can do a lot more diligence to not only grab, Jumio Corp, but then you go to their website and you look at all the type of verbiage they have, everything that they call themselves, how they address themselves. Maybe they, maybe for short, they don't really say Jumio too much. They just say Jumco, J-U-M-Co, right? So then you see if J-U-M-Co is available, right? So you can do deeper diligence. This is just at a very surface level. So that was the first one we found, Jumco. It's great. I hope somebody goes out there and registers it. I mean, like I said, these are low risk plays that could pay off for you. Obviously, the more due diligence you do and the deeper and harder you look after these, you'll probably be rewarded a lot more. I already found a few earlier before the call, and maybe I will share them. Shout out to my brother Houston. He just hopped on the Patreon. He said, I know what I'm doing this weekend. Right, exactly. I mean, like, just think about it. If you're just sitting at home, let's say you got a movie on, or, whatever, watching your favorite show, you can do this from your phone. You don't have to even be in front of a computer. So, alrighty. So Agoric, I tried them already. They're good. Job Board, Protocol Labs, I already tried those. And so it does become a little bit of a a grind, right? But like I said, you're just sitting back. So Cipher Trace, I think I tried those. Let's see. So Cipher Trace. And now again, this was me just searching crypto. I think a better one to search is blockchain. So we'll search blockchain next. And I don't want to stay on it too long because I mean, obviously, hopefully everyone kind of understands the point here. But I do want to see if we can find one. And my good brother Houston made another good point. He said, have you tried to look on the ADA network? So I think it's called ADA.name. So pretty much Ethereum name. Same thing for ADA. Although, no, I haven't tried yet for Cardano. And the only reason being is just because right now, you know, Ethereum name service has the buzz around it. So in my mind, I'm thinking, you know, if I would hold some of these for a long term, but really what I'm trying to do is spend the least amount of money and possibly get lucky. I'm fishing, right? Basically, right? I'm throwing my fishing rod out there, just trying to see the bait that I'm putting on it is buying these companies' ENSs, right? For 30 bucks, all right, try this, try that. And then, you know, maybe I get a bite. And like I said, I'm not selling any. I would like to sell these for like 1 Ethereum. A company should have no problem spending 1 Ethereum to get their ENS name if they're actually getting in crypto. Like you'll have some of these companies like LoadSys Consulting. I'm not sure what they do, but they're just trying to do a sales contractor, right? So maybe they're not actually getting into crypto. They're just trying to contract somebody for a crypto job. So, you know, that one wouldn't be as important or be high on my list. So let's see, this company's called babydogecoin.com. Baby Dogecoin. See if it's available. Nope, see they registered. So that's what I'm saying, right? So this is already registered, but to me that's like bullish. That gives me like, okay, keep going. If you see, and to me, in my eyes, if I see something that's registered, I'm like, okay, then I'm on the right track because I'm gonna come across one of these that aren't registered yet. And if it happens to be the company that's buying it, you know, you're in good hands. Barrowwise Consulting. So Barrowwise, let's type in Barrowwise. Oh, it's green. So there we go. There's another one. Barrowwise is available. So if Barrowwise is available, I'm sure Barrowwise Consulting is definitely available. And now let's see what they want. So they're looking for a PhD student in their consulting business. Consulting. And really when I'm looking through what they want here, I just want to see how involved in crypto are they. Because if they're not super involved in crypto, then, you know, their ENS name might not be worth anything. And in that case, maybe I wasted 30 bucks on buying it. But if I see that they're, you know, super involved in crypto, or they want to come off and look as though they're super involved in crypto, then perfect. Boom. Okay, so look at this one. So they're looking for a Discord moderator. So obviously, if you're in Discord, they're revolved around NFTs, gaming, and crypto. At least the ones I'm in, right? And so the first thing it says here, a passion for blockchain technology, has to be in the United States. So the company's name is Small Green Door. All right, so let's check out to see if Small Green Door has their ENS registered. Oh, might have caught him slipping, right? So look, smallgreendoor.eth is not currently registered. And how much would it cost to register? We could just register for 1 year. But you know, I'm throwing on like 3 to 5 just to say like, I don't know, it just seems like a nice amount. It might entice them to buy more. So 5 years, 30 bucks, right? 30 bucks for 5 years. This is a company that is currently hiring for a Discord moderator. They want their employee to have a passion for blockchain technology. So that most likely means that they, as a company, have a passion for blockchain technology, right? And then, like I said, you can go a little bit deeper if you want, and where you just start looking into the actual website, right? So now we go to Small Green Door. Let's try to go to their website here. Small Green Door website. The website uses cookies. Panic. All right, it's a creative studio. They do photography, design, and branding. They do branding. How can you do branding and not own your own ENS? You know what I'm saying? Like this would make a lot of sense to me in my eyes. I mean, I'm definitely not the biggest brain on the block, I'll tell you that. But every now and then you come up with something. So to me, this would be a good one. It's 30 bucks. Boom. This to me, this is a good one because the job that they're looking for is crypto focused, right? In the job description, it tells that they want someone passionate about blockchain technology, which most likely means that at some point, somebody working at that company is going to be like, oh, do you guys have your ENS name? And they are a branding company and they don't have they don't have their own ENS. To me, this is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. This is something you could easily buy for $30. And if you just want to try to flip it and get rid of it, you could sell it for $300. If you wanted to try to make some good profits, you could just list it for 1 Ethereum. And then if you don't want to do any of those, you can send this company email. You can be like, hey, I saw you guys were looking for a Discord monitor. What you got going on in Web3? Oh, that's cool. Cool. Yeah, you know about ENS, right? So, and like I said, I think blockchain is a better one to search other than crypto. You can search crypto, Web3, or blockchain. But this is just on the first page of blockchain. I think we found 2 just on this page. And if we look how many jobs there are 5,718 jobs that are listed. So it's like, how much of a grind do you want to go through? Go through it. Go through all the jobs listed, all the companies. Check to see if their ENS is out there. Determine if you think it would be worth it to spend the $30 to get it, and if so, pull the trigger. So I won't. I guess I won't harp on this point anymore. I just think these are easy ways. You stay involved in the market. You stay involved in crypto, and you can get rewarded for something like little to do it like this, right? Obviously, the bigger the company, the more money you can try to get. The smaller the company, it might be a little bit harder, but again, these are risk to reward. The risk is worth the reward, in my opinion. And then I guess the last thing I just wanted to talk about, really, I was just going to kind of touch base on, oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. I was just going to touch base on some NFT collections that I would keep an eye on, or that I'm waiting to see if they drop a little bit more. And if so, I'm going to try to pull the trigger on a few of them. Obviously, Neo Tokyo is my favorite NFT project, but I'm also biased because I own one. Imposters has been dropping a good bit. Imposters is a play-to-earn gaming project right now. They just released their beta, and their beta seemed to go over well. They had thousands of players playing at the same time. Maybe not thousands, actually, it might have been hundreds. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. So a couple hundred players playing at the same time with no real issues. Seemed to be really fun. People enjoyed it, so that was really good. I'll check that out. I don't know why this page isn't loading. Another one that I would keep an eye on, I've spoken about previously, the price is coming down a bit, On-Chain Monkeys. On-Chain Monkeys is, to me, a solid project from Web2 founders that are looking to build inside of the metaverse. They're creating their own metaverse products, so that could be absolutely huge. Shout out to my homie Zach. What's good, baby? Always dropping the positive vibes, so I appreciate my boy. Always dropping the positive vibes. And then, so Neo Tokyo, On-Chain Monkeys, and then I've heard there's a lot of rumors swirling around Bored Ape Yacht Club, so prices could be coming down on that. Those are still obviously extremely high price, so you might want to watch out. And they have some not so savory things being said about them as well. I'm not getting good. I don't know why am I not loading here. So Mutant Apes, right? So you might not be able to afford a Bored Ape, but you might want to watch for Mutant Apes. So I called out Mutant Apes when they dropped down to 3, I think it was like 3 or 3.5 ETH a few months back, and then they ran up to 25 ETH. So that was a great play. I would definitely keep an eye on. If they drop back anywhere around 5, it could be a good play. I know that's still a good amount of money, right? Because ETH is like $1,600, so 5 ETH, that's like $12,000. I'm just throwing it out there though, right? A lot of different people in the space. Nicole Martinez, shout out to homie Nicole. She put me onto these. They're called Finiliar, and what they do is they use Oracle data, and the NFT updates with the current token it's associated with. So if Ethereum is pumping, you have a little NFT character getting hyped, dancing around. If Ethereum is dumping, it's sad and it's like getting sick and it's unhappy. So luckily, it doesn't have. There's none listed for ADA because it would just be staying the same and never doing anything. So, keep an eye on. I really like these rare apes. I'm not telling anyone to buy them, but keep an eye on them. If they come down to like 0.2, you could do a nice swing back up to 0.6, 0.8. Pudgy penguins have been taking off recently. Definitely wouldn't touch those right now. Doodles is down to 7. If it comes down to 3, that's where I would look to grab some doodles. Cool Cats is at 2. I don't know. I'd have to check if there's any news on Cool Cats, but 2 doesn't seem too bad for Cool Cats. Pretty established product. And then you have Gary V Friends 5.5. The good thing about Gary V's V Friends is you know that at some point he's gonna drop news and they're gonna go up a lot. I mean, like, that's just Gary V. He'll just randomly be like, "Oh yeah, I bought the Jets and you get free season tickets if you own a V Friends." Like, so. All right, so those are just some NFT thoughts. Those are some market thoughts, man. Hopefully you guys got something good out of this. I appreciate y'all. Hit me up, and like my good brother Houston says, please hashtag don't forget to pay. You don't gotta give me any money, but just please like, share, and subscribe. I'll speak to y'all soon.